Good morning, friends, thrends, and thramly. It is yet another day here in the United States of siege, and I swear, I remember there was a time not that long ago where we could actually get a good night's sleep without the constant fear of what the fuck we were going to wake up to. So while there's plenty to discuss, right now let's actually address the elephant in the room. By the elephant, I mean the grand old party. Yes, that's right. I'm not going to give in to my baser urges right now and resort to the type of rhetoric for which I think I've probably kind of come to be known, because this doesn't need to be inflammatory, right? Like, we already have enough of that. And I say that to say that this is me wanting to kind of reach across an ideological divide and really ask some hard questions to those out there who are still supporting the current person in charge. I still find it hard to say president or anything else. It's actually a term of respect, I think, for obvious reasons. So let's talk about him, shall we? And what this party is now come to represent. And maybe this just represents a full-on schism, right? Maybe this is the breaking point between, the Republicans who are traditional conservatives who've been dubbed rhinos by the MAGA madness, or maybe this isn't your breaking point. But I gotta know, real talk, when you were casting your vote, exactly what were you casting it for? Were you casting it for less immigrants to take the jobs that you didn't want? The immigrants who, okay, so you don't like immigrants. I get that. I can appreciate that, I guess. But were you actually voting to have families violently separated and just torn all apart? Or maybe you were voting for America to look just completely foolish on the international stage at every opportunity. Were you voting to alienate allies who've been in place for decades, if not, more than a century, right? And I mean actively alienate them to the point where the world is restructuring in ways to avoid dealing with us as long as this person is in charge? Were you voting to raise your health care and insurance premiums while lowering accessibility? Or were you voting to see part of the country suffer simply because, not just part of the country, your fellow country people suffer because you don't agree with them ideologically? That's, wait, what about, were you voting to support someone who protects billionaire pedophiles who are capable of doing such horrendous things that are in the Epstein files that even the redacted versions that have been released have been so horrifying that you can watch the entire country that's reading these, just pile on trauma collectively and in real time? Oh, wait, what else? Were you voting for your fellow country people to be executed in the streets? I know. Were you voting to have your fellow country people, a fucking city occupied by military force? I mean, and it is an occupation if you hear any of the reports coming out of Minnesota. I'm really wondering, because I can understand saying you want lower taxes or you want tougher on immigration. Conceptually, while I don't necessarily agree with, how, the things were discussed, how things have been realized is an entirely different ballgame. So you got to ask yourself, even if you chose to vote for this person, is this the way things are unfolding right now in front of your eyes? And please, please believe your eyes and ears. Is this really what you voted for? Please let me know. I'm here. I'll wait. And while we await answers to these, I think, rather tough questions, everyone else, y'all already know what to do. If they don't get on board, it doesn't really matter, because it is still time for us to rise the fuck